Whew. Alright, I'm back. I think we're just gonna finish just in time before my controller battery dies. Hasn't given me the warning yet, but I see that it's only got one bar left. Oh, Estinian over here doing his Edgelord Walling emote. I should have known you'd be the one to end it. Mayhap now Tiamat will find some measure of solace. Yeah, I think so. Is it true? Has Lunar Bahamut been defeated? Yeah, but we might have more problems on the way. Cassidia Malja fighting alongside us brought to mind the Zune of the Crystarium. I pray that our peoples can forge bonds as strong as those of our counterparts in the First. Yeah, I gotta say. Hey, Deathwing Duck! Welcome to the stream. I'm guessing you probably arrived when the BRB screen was up. Happy to have you as always, though. You, Aiden, and Crimson. Hope you're all having a wonderful afternoon, for me anyway. From what I could tell, there didn't seem to be many Imperials in the vicinity of the tower. Hopefully Ehrenwald will have used the opportunity to get in and out undetected. Didn't work out that way as we just saw. Tiamat did all she promised and more this day, but I doubt she will be satisfied. Nay, she will fight on in defense of her children wheresoever they may be. It will take more than a single victory to wash away all the bad blood between men and Amolja. But one has to start somewhere. Indeed. Though the day is won, thanks in no small part to thy valor, the Talaferoi are far from defeated. Yet be that as it may, 'tis only right that we rejoice in Lunar Bahamut's banishment unto the ether. Yeah, there you go. While it would be too much to hope that we have seen the last of Fandaniel, we have dealt his schemes a telling blow this day, and that alone is cause to celebrate. Or so we hope. And celebrate I will, when we have received word of Ehrenwald's safe return. I don't know where this confidence is that we thwarted some great plot he had with one small victory like that, but yeah. When the dust settles. Standing around here worrying is not going to help matters. Come, we must discuss the day's events with Pippin and her grace. Brave scions! Speaking of... What's up? Would that I could treat you to a hero's welcome, but I bear urgent news from the frontistry. Oh, shit. Your grace, whatever is the matter? As our troops withdrew from Pagelson, they came upon the 2 scouts sent to the nearby tower. I have yet to hear a full account, but it seems that one of them, your friend, I believe, had been wounded and was being dragged away by the other. Uh-oh, he's freaking out. Alfino, calm down. Oh, no. I must go. Forgive me, your grace. Yep, there he goes. Can you tell us aught of Ehrenwald's condition, your grace? The wounded scout. Not save that it is grave. The Kairugans tend to him even as we speak. Shit. The infirmary must be inundated with the wounded. If all of us go, we'll only get underfoot. Leon, Estinian, would you mind going after Alfino? He may need some support from someone other than me. Don't worry. We got his back. Took him a while to respond there. Very well. Thank you. The rest of us will see that the relevant people know what took place in Pragelton. Come on, then. Shit. The lady. Cordola. Instead of standing there gawping, why don't you tell your friend to stop whining like an underfed dog? People are fighting for their lives in there. Please, tell me something. Anything. Another one come to see the lad in silver armor? Master Damelot is attending to him as we speak. If you would be so kind as to wait. What did Master Damelot say? Tell me his exact words. Let the Kyrulians do their work. But... you're right. Forgive me. When we said our farewells to Ehrenwald, I was afraid that something like this might happen, but now that it has... all we can do is wait. Yeah.
Fordola, have you been waiting here all this time?
We have done what we can. The rest is up to him.
May we see him?
I do not think that wise. You must let him sleep.
Thank you for bringing him back. He owes you his life. I just wish I had been there. Perhaps, I don't know, perhaps I could have...
Could have what? Got tempered? Don't flatter yourself. You can't save everyone. No one can. Not even the warrior of bloody light. People die all the time, for no good reason. And those who take up the sword die quicker than most. If you're going to shed a tear every time a soldier falls on the battlefield, you'd best stay away. It's no place for the weak of heart.
It may be that victory cannot be won without cost. But all life is precious, and I refuse to shrug at its loss.
Hello, you know.
All life is precious! Oh, you need to grow up, little man. Before your sparkling ideals get everyone killed.
I understand why she says that.
You're right. He is idealistic. But the world has more than its fair share of realists, like you and me. It's people like him who dare to dream that things could be better and make it happen against all the odds. They are the ones whose names live on forever. The heroes.
The battlefield's littered with would-be heroes. At this rate, you lot'll be next. And what'll become of your precious dreams then? They'll be gone. Like dust on the wind.
Yeah, the realist in me understands her. The idealist in me
Dreams worth fighting for don't die so easily.
thinks like that. Yeah, I can be guilty of being either too idealistic or too realistic at times, I must say. And I think it comes across, well, more like when I do one or the other, it's displayed as either severe optimism or severe pessimism. It manifests that way. That's the word I was looking for. It usually manifests as severe optimism or severe pessimism when I do either one. When I'm in realism mode, I obviously come across as a pessimist, and, you know, vice versa. I switch between the two, depending on my mood. Healthy enough? Actually. That woman. She plays at scorn, but her eyes are filled with sorrow. Sorrow deep enough to drown in. Yeah, I know. She's one of those who hides her feelings and doesn't say how she feels. Well, I guess I just said the same thing twice, but yeah. Instead of just telling people how she feels, she'd rather keep it all bottled up inside and not let it show. It's a very guarded mentality that, only causes, well, amongst your closest friends and family, it'll only cause more problems, because, they can't read your fucking mind. You can't expect them to. If you want them to know how you feel, you have to tell them loud and clear. You can't just expect them to know based on some moody face you put up or a grunt, you know. That leads to a lot of miscommunication and conflict, I feel. Misunderstandings. But I get it, though. I get why people want to do that sometimes. Hide their feelings. She's definitely that type. I know. There's nothing more I can do here. Come, let us rejoin the others. Her Grace invites the Scions of the Seventh Dawn to join her in the Fragrant Chamber. Your comrades have already arrived. Will the three of you be joining them? We will.
Your Grace, pray forgive us our lateness.
Think not of that. I understand a close comrade of yours was wounded in the line of duty. Arenvold. It was at the Alliance's behest that he risked all, and we are grieved to hear of his condition. Rest assured, he will receive the finest care our chirurgeons can provide. On that you have my word. Now, we would share with you the findings of the mission. Pippin, pray relate to our guests the details of Fordola's account.
First Bahamut, now Ifrit. Or Lunar Ifrit, as Fan Daniel would doubtless have it.
'Tis now all but certain that the towers were conceived to facilitate the summoning of primals by those imprisoned within. Less certain is the means by which the Telophoroi constrain the wills of said entities to enact their designs in defiance of the pleas of their victims.
Mayhap they do not. If mere proximity to the towers is enough to make loyal servants of the Empire's mortal enemies, it stands to reason that the same is true for those held captive. They invoke their gods for the good of Garlemald, and in their disturbed state of mind, summon a primal whose form reflects their own alteration.
It all begins to make sense. Upon closer inspection, I realized that the towers bear a striking resemblance to a much larger structure which Urianger and I observed from afar during our visit to the Imperial capital. Assuming it too is capable of tempering those in its immediate vicinity, it would go some way to explain the swiftness with which the Telophoroi managed to rally so many Imperials to their cause.
While the situation in Garlemald is indeed troubling, I fear we have more immediate concerns. Ifrit was not the only primal summoned. At approximately the same time, observers at several other towers bore witness to the emergence of further such entities. For a blessing, none appear to wield aught approaching the destructive power of Bahamut, and the Grand Companies are moving to deal with the threat even as we speak.
You need only tell me where they are, Your Grace. I'll get them. I'll fuck them up.
Though we are aware that the task will not be easy, we would call upon the Scions only as a last resort. Pray, conserve your strength for now. After all, it was not so very long ago that you rid us of Bahamut. On which note, I am pleased to report that our talks with the Amalja have reached an agreeable conclusion. They have pledged their full support to our cause. It is our hope that this historic agreement will encourage other tribes to join us at the negotiating table. And I know that I speak for all of the Allied leaders when I say that we will welcome them with open arms at such time as they do. Of course, this was only made possible by the feats of heroism performed at Paglfan. Moreover, we shall not allow the sacrifices of those fallen in battle to have been made in vain. As hope leads to victory, shall victory lead to a new dawn for Eorzea.
May these words ever be our guide, Your Grace.
Now, if you will forgive me, I must consult with the Syndicate on the matter of our new allies' integration. Till next we meet, my friends, I bid you safe travels and blessed respite.
Sweet. Alright. Now what? Damn, we got a fucking posse right now. We're rolling deep right now. There's no reason to linger. I will take my leave. Amidst this great push for peace with the Beast Tribes, we would do well to remember that old prejudices yet remain. It is a delicate political dance, and I do not envy the Sultana her task, nor any alliance leader. Yeah. Alphinaud knows only too well that sacrifices are an unavoidable part of conflict. But knowing something does not change how one feels about it. Yeah, I know that all too well. You yourself have shared adventures with Ehrenwald, have you not? And I shall say no more. If the secrets of the towers thus laid bare, our duty to prevent further abductions taketh on new import. Fail in this, and our enemy shall punish our negligence with a plague of primals. Even without the threat of tempering to contend with, the Grand Companies have quite a task on their hands. Regardless of Her Grace's protestations to the contrary, it may be best to dispatch a few of our own to assist in the endeavor. Remind me to mention it to Tatara, would you? Yeah. But we have won our first battle against the Telophoroi and made significant discoveries to boot. The war has scarcely begun, and we must steel ourselves for what lies ahead. Indeed. Sprouts! Little Sprouts just starting their adventure in Ul'dah, or the Bloody Banquet maybe too. That's why there's so many people outside that door all the time. But that is one long-ass cutscene. Like an hour long, I think. Right, then. Unless anyone has any objections, I think it's about time we return to the Rising Stones. Yeah. I'm down to go relax and have a beer or something. An ale. Oh. And that includes you, Alfino. Anvald, excuse me, is in good hands here. Of course. He would doubtless mock me for pacing about the infirmary. Let us retire then, that we might regain our strength and readiness for the coming challenges. Excuse me? If all are in agreement, then I shall let Kryle know to expect us. A hot bath and a hearty meal shouldn't be beyond the ranging with the time available. Aye, I'm down for that. It will be good to be home. I have some thinking to do. Yes, I'll try asking him. And thank you. I shall look forward to it. Our comrades eagerly await our return, and Kryle in particular has a few matters she is keen to discuss. One of which concerns you, Estinian, believe it or not. You will join us, won't you? Fine. And then Thancred just crosses his arms. Uh-oh, we got two Giga Chads locking heads. Locking horns, I guess. Really? I thought you said you were avoiding that Valdesian woman. The stare down. If I refuse, she would only pursue me. Again, what the hell is going on between him and Kryle and Totaro? How is it they know how to chase him down? Let's get this over with, shall we? That long blink stare he gave him, just... If I do, they'll just pursue me. He just leaves. That long, pregnant pause.
Welcome back. I expect you must all be exhausted. Ere you take your rest, however, I would beg a moment of your time. Thanks to Arenvold's selfless efforts, we may now be confident that we understand the function of the towers. But many questions remain regarding the reason for the summonings, and what lurks behind the looming edifice in Garlemald. Until such questions are answered, we will struggle to devise an effective strategy for thwarting the Telophoroi's stated aim. Nothing less than the destruction of this star. And so, given the gravity of the situation, I move that we petition the aid of Sharlayan.
It is possible the ancient knowledge preserved within our archives may hide a clue to our enemy's methods. But given Sharlayan's established policy of non-intervention, our former colleagues are not like to aid us in its discovery.
Oh, I well remember what they're like. The Forum's barefaced refusal to assist you in the days prior to the calamity must rank as Sharlayan's most shameful act since the Exodus. But were the final days to be reenacted, it would spell doom for us all. Surely even they cannot turn a blind eye to that.
Be
I
surprised.
trust we are all of the same mind on this matter. Urgent as it seemed, I took the liberty of petitioning the Alliance for leave to act as Eorzea's emissary, and have since received their blessing.
I presume your role as a student of Baldesion will carry some weight with the Forum?
One can but hope. If truth be told, our organization has been a shadow of its former self ever since the disappearance of the Isle of Val. But the name does still retain some degree of prestige. I only pray it will be enough. If there are no objections, I shall depart for Sharlayan at once. But before I do, I should also mention the other matter to which I would devote some time during my stay. After hearing what transpired in the first, I began to question the true nature of Hydaelyn's blessing. A topic I have discussed at some length with Y'shtola.
We were wondering, when was the last time Hydaelyn spoke to you directly?
Fucking ages ago. What day in the Crystarium? It was near the end of, the last time I remember was near the end of the Dragonsong War. But she was speaking to me through Minfilia, the word of the mother. That's the last time I remember.
When you regained her blessing, was it not? But never since. Not in all your time in the First, when you faced the Unsundered, the very heart of Zodiark.
Yeah, exactly, nothing.
History shows us that Hydaelyn is able to awaken the echo in her chosen, convey her will directly, and grant the blessing of light. To our knowledge, however, she has not sought to intervene in man's affairs for some considerable time.
Might not the explanation for that lie with her choice of champion? Mayhap she is content to trust in his judgment.
Mayhap she is. But following my initial discussion with Krile, I made inquiries of my own, and as far as I am able to tell, Hydaelyn has not made her will known to anyone.
During my time in the First, the Oracle of Light spoke to me through Reen. But that was not the will of Hydaelyn. It was Minfilia herself.
Yeah, that's why she wasn't called the word of the mother anymore.
Indeed. And while she and Hydaelyn were inextricably linked, Minfilia yet acted of her own volition. A messenger, yes, but one who spoke with her own voice.
I wonder, could Hydaelyn's silence suggest the presence of some disruptive force, perhaps? Some obstacle to communication? While I share Urianger's high opinion of your conduct, I see no reason why she would deny you her guidance altogether. Then again, who am I to say? The fact is, we simply don't know. But if the explanation is to be found anywhere, I can think of worse places to look than the archives of Sharlayan, and their research on the Ethereal Sea in particular. Resolved though I am to go, believe me when I say that I take no pleasure in the thought of leaving you a member short. Now of all times. Estinian, we stand on the eve of a struggle that will decide the fate of this star. One in which we Scions may play a telling part, yet we are but few in number. And so I must ask you again, will you join us?
Puppy dog eyes,
You
Alphino.
see the world the way you want it to be. I see the world the way it is. You are idealistic to a fault.
Poor Dollar said, yeah.
But I know you would never turn your back on those in need. Never close your eyes to their suffering. And somehow, your deeds lend truth to your words, giving the lie to my doubts in so doing. I have seen others draw strength from your belief. In Ishgard, in Alamigo, you inspired them to stand up and fight. To win, no less. And even when you lost those you held dear, you carried their spirit with you and made their memory your guiding light. The burden of so many hopes and dreams would be too heavy for most to bear. But you bear it willingly, as you have shown me. Some dreams are too important to let go. If you have need of my strength, it's yours. After all you've done, how could I refuse?
Thank you, Estinian. Whatever challenges await us, I shall not falter. You have my word.
And now, I may bid you farewell. Safe in the knowledge that all is as it should be. In this little corner of the world, at least.
You will be sorely missed. Tread warily in Sharlayan, and do try not to let the Forum embroil you in their politics. A forlorn hope, I know, given the individuals involved.
I shall do my very best. Farewell.
Good luck, Kyle. Meanwhile, in the Imperial Palace,
Well, does this one meet with your approval? Apparently not. Or could it be that you're still upset about the dragons?
You are unwise to remind me of so costly a failure. It will not affect our plans, I trust.
Oh, hardly at all. Though, admittedly, the chances of us being able to procure any more Mericidian dragons are rather slimmer following Tiamat's reappearance. Oh, but the seeds have been sown, my lord. We have only to wait for them to quicken. Speaking of preparations, is it safe to assume that you will be ready to control you-know-what?
The hour draws nigh. This nation, forged for Ascian ends, will finally prove its worth.
A mighty empire, now no more than an instrument of this star's destruction. What a pleasure it will be to put it to use. Which brings me back to our earlier topic. My lord, while I appreciate that it is not an easy decision, it really is past time you chose your weapon.
There is one that I have been meaning to test.
Well, well. Not quite what I was expecting. Though I will say, it does seem rather apt.
I like it. Amidst all the fighting, it's easy to forget what we've achieved, isn't it? I mean, we cured Tiamat. Tiamat, for heaven's sake! You will tell me if I become insufferably smug, won't you? Because the way things are going, it feels like a definite possibility. I'll keep you in check, Alice, don't worry about it. None can deny that Heidelin's blessing has been a great boon to our cause, but much remains unknown with regard to her true intentions. Given everything we have learned from our encounters with the Ascians, we must keep our minds open to any and all possibilities. Yep. Sudden appearance of the towers will surely not have escaped the Forum's notice. I would like to think they would be receptive to Kryle's request for cooperation in investigating the matter, but unfortunately their reputation would suggest otherwise. It strikes me as odd rather than marching on one of the city-states, the Telophoroi have so far made only sporadic attacks. I doubt they'd go to the trouble of putting up all of those towers if that was all they had in store for us. Agreed. They're shady. Your mate's a shady man. If I am to pursue this course, I must be prepared for the hardships that lie ahead. If you've need of my lance, I'll be ready. Not, I'll be reserving my strength in preparation of the next battle. But since you're here, I have a question. The Scions are in close contact with the East Aldenar Trading Company of Hugane, yes? I was wondering if they could place an order for some sun-dried squid. I don't seem to be able to find it in these parts. Oh, a delicacy that you like, huh? Fair enough. Though we know not the full extent of the Telophoroi's schemes, preventing further abductions must take precedence above all else. For therein lieth the key to depriving our enemy of its most potent weapon. How's everyone else doing? I've been keeping me good eye on the towers and telling others to do the same. Of course, I don't mean just us Scions. I've got a whole network of scouts to keep me informed. Alize has been teaching me how to cure tempering using epoxy. I must say, the thought of being in such close proximity to one of the afflicted is rather daunting. Yeah. I can see why. We've sent Coltonet and the others to be our eyes and ears in the field. Wherever the Telophoroi appear next, we'll be among the first to know. Who remained behind? Aner, Alian, and Osher. Alian, it's been a while. When the tower rose up in Yangsha, my first thought was to stay in Doma to keep my grandfather safe. But when we heard the news of Bahamut's return, he bid me return to the Rising Stones to aid my fellow Scion. He sends his regards, by the way. Well, that's good. I hope he's doing well and getting along with Home. Well, I know they're getting along, but I hope their reunion was, good. Although Ehrenwald and I both served as Scions, I am afraid that I have had few opportunities to speak with the lad. I do hope he is fit to return to active duty soon. Yeah. Aner? Hoary Boulder certainly cut a fine figure as he set off in his latest mission. I was sad to see him leave, and my nights will be lonelier with just the one brother to keep me company. Damn. Yeah, that sucks. It probably does feel like a downgrade after you get used to 3 waves every night. To just, only being able to fuck one of them. I feel for you, Aner. I feel for you. Don't worry, he'll be back soon enough. Anyway. Zathara? Well, it looks like I'm going to have a busy few moons. Not that they ever seem to be anything but. Tancred's got me dispatching troops to every corner of the realm, which is not to say I don't trust the Alliance, because I do. But when it comes to putting down primals, nobody does it better than us. Well, than you lot, more accurately. You won't catch me trading blows with a primal in the near future. But for every fell fiend you vanquish, there's countless meals to arrange, baths to fill, sheets to wash, stores to replenish, and the list goes on. That's important too, yeah. Which is where I come in. And gladly, mind you. It's the least I can do to support the Scions who risk life and limb, like poor Ehrenwald. I wish there was something we could do for him, but we'll just have to settle for saying the odd prayer and keeping a roof over our heads. For now, yeah. It wouldn't do to have him back, or it wouldn't do to have him come back to a complete shambles, now would it? Never seen it phrased that way. But that's enough of my rambling. Off you go and get some rest. If there are any developments, I promise you'll be the first to know. Not for naught. Not for nothing. As of this moment, you are under strict orders to get as much rest as possible. After all, we need our man fighting fit when the Telophoroi rear their ugly heads again. Which would be right now. The company we keep. Alize can tell you are itching to take the fight to the Telophorois. So that was the end of 5.5, and this is the beginning of 5.56. A few months later, I believe, after they finally announced the name of the next expansion, which was Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker. And as, you know, as Yoshi P, sorry, I couldn't remember his name for a second, you know, introduced it as the final end, the final chapter of, this story. Yeah, I think they had the whole event and everything. They showcased what they could about it, the live letter, and then finally they released this. 5.56. Ah, Leon. You're looking well. I take it you managed to squeeze in some rest? If you came hoping for tidings from Krile, I'm afraid we're still waiting, but we do have some odd scraps of news to share. What's up? Scraps, she says. Lunar primals have been popping up all over the place, but the Alliance has the situation well in hand. Thanks in no small part to Hoary Boulder and the others. Meanwhile, talks with the beast tribes are going even better than expected. Encouraged by Uldal's progress with the Amalja, Gridania has opened negotiations with the Ixal, believe it or not. All of which is obviously very encouraging, but with the Telophoroi still out there, it's not as if we can afford to lower our guard. Begging your pardon, but I come bearing in an invitation from the Alliance. He's in full gear, can't see his face. A council meeting is due to be held in Alamigo, and your attendance is humbly requested. Ah, we were just talking about the Alliance. May I ask what's on the agenda? I believe the intention is to share news of recent developments and discuss what measures might be taken to combat the Telophoroi. In concert with our new allies, the beast tribes have also been invited. It is hoped that they will join us in the fight against our common foes. So the Alliance would bring all of the beast tribes into the fold at a single stroke. An ambitious plan given the delicacy of the negotiations, but mayhap an expedient one considering the threat we face. Indeed, my lady, and for their part I am told the beast tribes have agreed to attend. If the Scions too are present, all of Eorzea will be represented. I'm down. Let's go. To arrange such a meeting must have been quite an undertaking, not only diplomatically, but practically. Pray inform the Alliance that we would be honored to participate. We shall make for Alamigo without delay. And I will bear your answer thither with all haste. We look forward to receiving you at the Royal Palace. We keep having all our meetings there now. Except for the one in Ul'dah recently, but... Well, now that we've accepted the invitation, who exactly is going to attend? I move that you and the Y'shtola lead our contingent. Given how long you have worked to end summoning, it is only right that you be present for what promises to be a historic moment. I think we've all played our parts in that little endeavor, don't you, Leon? Yeah. All present may rightly claim a seat, I do quite agree. But by your leave, I believe I shall remain here and lend what assistance I can to the coordination of our defensive efforts. I'm not coming either. Emmerich will be there, and I'd rather not be interrogated. Very well then. While those with a mind to hold the fort get on with holding it, I suggest the rest of us make for Alamigo. Shall we? Alright, let's do it. Don't forget to bring me something nice from Alamigo. Okay. Don't worry, I have no plans to return to roaming in your absence. I know you'd only chase me if I did. Alright. I shall take this opportunity to gain a better understanding of Sir Estinian. Being Elezen of like age, 'tis possible we have interests in common. I seriously doubt that, but hey, you never know. Mayhap I shall begin by lending him a favorite treatise of two from my collection. Yeah, you do that, buddy. I'm sure it'll work out great. Okay, they haven't changed what they said. Hey, you never know. Maybe Estinian is willing to sit down and read a book once in a while. Maybe. Or we'll come back and he'll be sick and tired of Urianger. Who knows? Oh, hold on. Thanks, buddy. Oh, here's my spot in the circle. What's up, everybody? Huh! I suppose I am. And the fact that our cure for tempering made it possible only heightens my anticipation. Oh, that was a response to something Alistair said, I'm guessing. Honestly, the look on your face. Eager to bear witness to another historic moment by any chance? And that's when he says that. Okay. Yeah, you played a big part in that, buddy. Even with the swift intervention of the immortal flames, all too many lost their lives at Paddleton. Still closer cooperation between our peoples will be required if we are to thwart the plans of the Telophoroi. Indeed. The Amalja cannot be the only tribe to have been targeted by the Telophoroi, and none of them will have taken kindly to having their people enslaved, nor their gods turned against them. Like the city-states, every beast tribe has its factions, each with their own agenda, making peace a complex proposition. But if the Alliance can come to an understanding with their leaders, it will be for them to resolve internal conflicts. Yeah. Alright, well, let's head in, everyone. What are we waiting for? We have been expecting you. While some few guests have yet to arrive, the Alliance leaders are all present. Shall I show you in? Please. Oh, what happened? Oh. They all showed up?
Esteemed guests, you honor us with your presence. As there is much to discuss, let us begin.
Information on our taken brethren you have, yes? Hear it we would! Beyond forgiveness, these featherless ones are! With rivers of blood shall they pay. Freed our people must be!
We too would see your kin liberated. But ere we attempt their rescue, we must first find a means to negate the risk of tempering. Without that, we will be unable even to approach the towers, let alone contend with their defenders.
If all else fails, I've always found cannonballs quite effective.
Oh my god.
And what of the prisoners? Would you see them slaughtered?
That. I was like, hold on a second.
Think for a moment. Ponder, consider, think. If Merlwyb truly intended to bombard the towers, she would have done so by now. Remember, we came here to find a solution together, did we not?
What's the reason there?
Y'stola spoke of defenders. I but offered a means to clear a path, should you require it.
There we go.
Given the enemy's capabilities, we will all need to play our part if we are to have any chance of success. For if any here should give less than their best, it will be to the cost of every living being on this star.
A paragon, the Empire, our very gods. How can we hope to prevail against such odds?
That our foe is formidable, none would deny. But our strengths are many and varied. In this chamber, I see masters of strategy, masters of magic, masters of the land, the air, and the sea. And together, there is nothing in creation we cannot overcome.
Literally the whole posse here. All of Eorzea.
What? I beg your pardon?
What is it, Soulwalker? Do not express your passion thus. A little pretty without gills, perhaps? Suffice it to say, I am proud to be counted amongst Eorzea's finest. We Sahagin will play our part.
Word us there for a second.
We kobolds have not forgotten the crimes the Overdwellers committed against us in the past. But today we look to the future, as allies united in purpose.
Damn straight.
Ah! Make mock of the Ixal, the Paragon does! Turns kin into puppets, pits brother against brother. Free them from his grasp, we shall!
As Patriarch Zadar will attest, the Scions have granted us a means to free your brethren from their thraldom. This boon we will gladly share, that your people might never be enslaved again.
We accept! We accept!
Praise me!
We finally have all of Eorzea united.
It's taken a while, but I do believe we might be one step closer to a world without primals. Would that Minfilia were here to see it.
We still have a long way to go, and we're going to need a lot more Porksies. But we're moving in the right direction.
If I may have your attention, there is one other point I would like to raise. As we can all agree, freeing those held captive must take precedence over every other concern. But experience has taught us that none save those with the capacity to resist tempering can hope to enter the towers unscathed. And even once inside, a still greater threat may yet await them, that which we call a primal. Needless to say, if we are to succeed, engaging with such foes can only ever be considered a last resort. And so I move that we seek to prevent them from being summoned in the first place.
Yes! Both prayer and ether are needed for the ritual. Should either one be denied, the summoning would fail.
Indeed. And so we must endeavor to discover the source of the ether on which the process depends. Do so, and it may present a way to halt the summonings, or perhaps even neutralize the towers entirely.
A promising proposal. While you are conducting your investigations, however, we will need to remain vigilant, lest the Telophoroi commit further abductions and summon primals ere we have the means to prevent them. To stand a better chance of keeping our enemy at bay, we would do well to coordinate our defensive efforts, sending reinforcements to assist our neighbors when needed.
We Amalja would have been overwhelmed were it not for our newfound allies. But say the word, and we shall come.
I see we are all in accord. But what are we to call this proud fellowship of ours? I submit that the honor of naming it should go to the scion whose brave efforts have done so much to unite Eorzea. What say you, my friend?
Me? He got the same look on his face that I did. That's actually not bad. The Grand Company of Eorzea. Finally. I would call it the Grand Company of Eorzea. Though I know we can do it with a better name.
But that's the name I give.
A fine choice, for there is none here who does not love Eorzea.
Aye, in that we shall ever be united.
Alphinaud's like...
United in our gratitude for the realm that gave us life.
Then let it be recorded that on this day, the Grand Company of Eorzea was born.
Confidence, one nation. It's everything you ever wanted, Alphinaud. Back when you made the Crystal Braves. He's so proud of him right now.
How long have we dreamed of this moment? And now that it's here, Oh, forgive me. Might we speak outside?
I guess me and Alphinaud thought up the same name at the same time or something? We have won over the leaders. Now the leaders must win over their own people. No small task, I grant you. But we have come a long way since first we joined with Minfilia to bring an end to summoning. A long, long way. Yeah. I still remember that day, back in the Waking Sands. Fresh off of defeating Ungust. Preying on that woman that he claimed stole something or whatever. When I first met Minfilia. Yeah. Man, that was a long time ago. The Grand Company of Eorzea. I wonder what Riel and the other former Crystal Braves will make of it. Yeah. Forgive me for observing, but Alphinaud seems less than jubilant. Might his thoughts still be occupied by the fate of poor Erenvald? Hold on a second. Now that Thancred says that. It's a pity it took the threat of annihilation for everyone to cast their grievances aside. But better late than never, I suppose. Now that Thancred says that, I do wonder. Was that the name he first proposed for the Crystal Braves back then? I don't know. Maybe it was. It's been so damn long. I don't know now. Who knows? Maybe that's why he was like... You bastard! Well, now that we are out of earshot of the other delegates, I hope you will forgive me if I speak my mind. Go for it. Let me begin by saying that I have dreamed of this day since the moment I first set foot upon these shores, and I was as heartened as anyone to see the peoples of Eorzea pledge their solidarity. Yet even as they uttered their declarations, all I could think about was the conflict to come, of the sacrifices that would be made, and the lives lost. Inevitabilities that I still struggle to accept. But at least now there is hope. The formation of the Grand Company of Eorzea is the first step. The first of many. Many and more. Mamikane! Elder Seeds here. How might we be of service? I seek Master Alfino's assistance in a matter involving Gridania's neighbors, the Sylphs. Really? I know that you and yours have long kept a weather eye upon the crystal trade, the better to predict the coming of primals, and so you will be familiar with the Sylphs of the Ashcrown Consortium. Through their dealings, they have cultivated relations not only with the city-states, but many other communities besides. Right? Has she always had that giant necklace, or is that new? The thing she's got across her chest. I don't think I ever noticed it before. Communities such as the Beast Tribes. Just so. It is our hope that we may make use of the Sylph's established lines of communication to coordinate the efforts of our new fellowship. Yet there remain certain practical differences between a trade consortium and a grand company. If the Sylphs are to perform their task effectively, they will require the Council of one versed in the operational aspects of an armed force. An armed force founded with the self-same goal in mind, no less. Maybe she's always had that. I don't know. The Crystal Braves, yes. Forgive me, Master Alfino. I know that it was a painful chapter in your life, but the experience may yet be made to serve the realm. In my hubris, I plotted a course for the Crystal Braves which stretched far beyond the Order's initial conception. One intended to pave the way for the founding of what I intended to call the Grand Company of Eorzea. So it was, yeah. He did want to call it that at first, and then he changed it to the Crystal Braves, I think, for some reason or another. That's why he was like... You bastard! Hey, I didn't have any other choice. It was either that or just sit there. But my plans all came to naught. Built upon a frail foundation of lofty ideals, the Order was doomed from the first to collapse under the weight of more worldly interests. Thanks to Kaleji Adeleji and Lolorito. And I have no wish to... and fucking Yu Yu Hase. And I have no wish to see this new endeavor suffer the same fate. Mayhap I ask too much of you. Not at all. You may count upon my assistance for what little it is worth. By your leave, I shall prepare a report including a list of recommendations drawing on the lessons I learned from the failures of the Crystal Braves. You have my gratitude, Master Alfino, and my trust. When your report is ready, pray share it directly with the Sylphs. With your guidance and the earnest efforts of every goodly soul gathered here this day, I have no doubt but that our fellowship shall emerge from the shadow of the Telophoroi and flourish. Until next we meet, my friends. Take it easy, Kane. Before committing anything to writing, there are a number of people whose thoughts I should like to hear. Former Braves, you understand. Might you join me in seeking them out? I can't think of an excuse not to. As if you have to ask. I got you, little buddy. Thank you. As someone who witnessed the Order's rise and fall, yours would be a reassuring presence. I'll join you. If you're planning to canvass the opinions of your former comrades, it will be a lot quicker if we share the task of questioning them. Then mayhap Graha can lend a hand as well. I shall accompany Thancred back to the Rising Stones. Between us, I dare say we should be able to provide an accurate enough account of the day's events. We should be glad of your company, Graham. I shall explain the details on the way. I take it we will soon be paying the Sylphs a visit. How fascinating it will be to speak with them in person. Though I gather conversation can prove rather challenging. Yeah. It will not be easy to revisit the past, but sometimes one must look back to see the way forward. Indeed. It almost always works out that way, actually. So, what's the plan, brother of mine? Before discussing the task at hand, I should probably admit that the report I proposed is largely written. Not long after that fateful day in Ul'dah, I penned a detailed account of the organization's history, from the events that led to its inception to the failings that brought about its demise. This I did primarily as a means of taking some semblance of responsibility. Never did I imagine that it might later be referred to by those seeking to form a similar organization. And while I made every attempt to be objective, the account was mine alone. Its events viewed from my singular perspective. For it to be of use, however, it must be broadened to encompass the viewpoints of all involved. Only then can it answer what seems to be the crucial question, namely, why, after the Crystal Braves disbanded, did some members choose to remain with us while others did not? I see. You think the answer will tell us something about the nature of the ties that bind our new Grand Company together? And that this knowledge might help us to prevent it from falling apart when those bonds are inevitably tested. I'd read too fast here. That is my hope, yes. But the questions I would ask are uncomfortable to some. As the former commander of the Crystal Braves, I doubt that those who abandon the cause would welcome my inquiries. Then G'raha and I will just have to try. Meanwhile, the two of you can talk to the ones who kept the faith. A fine suggestion. Have care, however. Certain of my former comrades are of questionable character. So keep your wits about you and let us reconvene in Gridania later on. If you have no objections, I've a mind to begin by speaking with Riel and Alian, sorry. If memory serves, the two of them will be attending an intelligence briefing at Castramori's. Let us seek them out there. Okay. While such briefings are seldom exciting affairs, their importance in coordinating our efforts with our allies cannot be overstated. In that regard, Alian and Riel have been most dependable. Yeah. Oh? I didn't expect to see you here, Leon. But if you enjoy intelligence briefings, you've come to the right place. Sure. Well, look who it is. And what brings you two here? Wouldn't have anything to do with the big meeting, would it? In a manner of speaking, I have been assigned a task, you see, for which I require the assistance of former members of the Crystal Braves. So you want to know why we decided to stick with the Scions, eh? Ain't an easy thing to put into words, that. As I once explained to Leon, I spent a long time agonizing over my failure to alert you to the traitors in our midst. For my negligence, I was captured along with many others, and we were powerless to prevent the tragedies that ensued. Not a day goes by that I do not think back to those fateful events. By joining the Scions, I hope to redeem myself, and I will continue to serve the cause for as long as I am able. But that wasn't my only reason. When we were finally reunited at the Rising Stones, you refused to blame anyone but yourself for the fall of the Crystal Braves. And in spite of everything that had happened, everything you had suffered, you took us back without a moment's hesitation. We would not have blamed you had you turned us away, but when you gave us your trust instead, what else could we do but to try to repay it? But try to repay it. Nothing, that's what. As for me own tale, well, I've always felt the Scions have something in common with me old crew. The duty of the strong is to protect the weak. That was our creed, and I still strive to live by it to this day. Remember, he's from the company of heroes. Buffoons, more like, but yeah. But as time's gone on, I've learned that strength comes in many shapes and sizes. From Hoary Boulder to Mistress Tataru, we've all of us got something to offer. And not one of us doing it for personal gain. Because we believe there's more important things than that. Things worth protecting, which is what being a Scion's all about. I'm at a loss for words. Thank you, my friends. To hear this from you means more than you know. Forgive me. Leon, could you? Sure. Why do you think the Crystal Braves ended in failure? Well, it's found that ideals were something to be proud of, but ideals alone don't make a crew. For every swab who signed up with good intentions, there was another who was only in it for the coin, the glory, or both. You, Hase.
You bastard!
Ours was quite a disparate band, and while I will never forgive Ilberd, the fact that we managed to function at all was thanks in large part to his efforts. Just a pity he was doing it all for the wrong reasons, eh? Or he was doing it for all the wrong reasons. Only takes one bad apple, they say, and the Braves had a barrel full of them. Not like the Scions. We might look like a ragtag band of misfits, but deep down we've all got that shared sense of purpose. And why? Because Tataru sifted out all the glory hunters before they made it through the door. Good honor. I see. So while our ranks comprise a diverse range of people, each with their own individual strengths, we are all united in purpose. Thank you, my friends. With your permission, I shall make a record of our discussion and refer to it when drafting my recommendations. Until we meet again. After the company of heroes went their separate ways, I did try working on my own for a bit. And I'll admit it was nice being able to pick my own battles. But if you want to make a real difference, you need to find a good crew and stick with them. Speaking of former Crystal Braves, I've not seen Artemis of late, constantly away on missions as he is. I wonder how he fares. On official business. 1 second. Okay. Well, I think we have taken up enough of our colleagues' time, and I am conscious that less life-affirming testimonies await. Let us make our way to Gridania and hear what the others have learned. Wait a minute. I got a freebie to this place. Oh, it's 5.55, not 56. I fucked that up. I'm looking at the quest list. But whatever. Same thing, it's just, the second half of 5.5, you could call it. On the way here, I took the opportunity to write up my notes from our conversation with Alianne and Rio. All that remains is to add Alize and Graha's findings, whatever they may be. What'd you guys get? When Alize sets her mind on something, there is no stopping her. And her mind was truly set on finding former Braves. For a while, I even feared what she might do to me. But in the event, she was admirably civil. For the most part. Thanks to Tataru's ever-dependable intelligence, we managed to track down a handful of former Braves without any great difficulty. Right. Let's dive this open. Probably been slowing down my computer. Some were forthright, others less so, but we heard enough to form a picture. I must warn you, Alphino, some of their comments were harsh. I can well imagine, but their opinions are no less vital to my report. I seek the unvarnished truth. Well, here you go. Thank you. I will set about adding your findings to my own at once. In the meantime, pray go on ahead to Little Solace and seek out Elder Frixio. I will join you anon. Leave me to attend to my report and join the others in Little Solace. I shan't keep you waiting long. I know how playful the sylphs can be. True. Now that I think about it, of the four of us, only you and Alphino have any real experience in conversing with sylphs. Still, it can't be that hard, can it? If you're not averse to dancing. Though I had the honor of sharing a table with Elder Frixio and El Amigo, I did not have an opportunity to speak with him. I do hope my studies have granted me a sufficient grasp of his people's customs. See? Ah, welcome, Brave One and friends of Brave One. How good it is to see walking ones again so soon after the meeting. Should this one perform the customary dance of greeting? No, be at ease. It is true that these ones once delighted in making walking ones dance, but no more. It was just bullshit, wasn't it? Horned One Kane Senna said that walking ones would be coming to Little Solace. Imperial ones also invaded Sylphlands and abducted many of these ones, but these ones will be glad to bear messages between fighting friendly ones. That is heartening to hear, Elder. It will require all ones to work in unison to stop the Telophoroi. These ones will try very hard, of course, but in matters of war, these ones have little experience. Any advice walking ones can provide would be most welcome. Oh? Another pretty silver-haired one, and in quite a hurry, it seems. Oh shit. Alize, you must come quickly. Whatever's the matter, Alphino? Don't tell me. You couldn't read my handwriting. I doubt it. What? No! A Twin Adder officer accosted me as I was about to set out. Sharlayan had sent an envoy, who was due to arrive in Gridania at any moment. What? An envoy? Could it be that Krile has managed to sway the Forum? We shall know soon enough, but there is more. The envoy has requested that the two of us attend the audience with the Elder Seedseer. They're requesting you two in particular. That sounds kind of personal, oddly. Really? I can see why they might want Scions to be present, but us specifically? Wait, it isn't who I think it is. It is. I could scarce believe it myself, but when I inquired as to the envoy's identity, I was told that it was one Corchanal Leveilleur, if that's how you say his name. That's goddamn, that's a mouthful. Corchanal Leveilleur. Your father? Well now, the fact that a serving member of the Forum had journeyed here would be surprise enough, but him? That's kind of a big deal, it seems, judging by the people here who know him. Quite. I glean from this that they are taking the matter seriously. Sending someone like that? I would think so. Well, sending someone at all, considering they just tell us to fuck off most of the time. That may be, but why him and not one of the other 98 Forum members? Unless he volunteered for it. Maybe he did, and that's why he wants to talk to both of you. It has been some time since you last saw your father, has it not? Could it be that he is concerned for your well-being? That was kind of my thinking too, yeah. Perhaps. but he has always been reluctant to discuss his work with us. Indeed. And whenever we write to our parents, it is invariably our mother who replies. Stone cold dad, huh? I can relate a little. Nevertheless, I welcome the opportunity to meet with him after so long, even if it is secondary to his true purpose here. They literally haven't seen him since the game started, at the beginning of Realm Reborn, when they were on the carriage with us, first arriving to Eorzea, just barely. Or the boat if he started in Limsa. Elder Frixio, loath though I am to cut our visit short, we must return to Gridania. Pray accept my apologies along with my report. No, see, actually that makes sense now. Remember, Crimson, we were wondering why Limsa was a canon intro? It's a much easier way to explain these two arriving on a boat from Sharlayan, rather than just a random carriage headed to Gridania or Ul'dah. But I thought that's the only reason why they chose, you know, Limsa, where the Marauder/Warrior starts, which is, you know, used as the Warrior of Light's job class in the trailer for Realm Reborn. But still, now we see it all kind of coming full circle here. Oof. Pray accept my apologies along with my report. I know I read the first part already. Never mind. There will be time to talk later. This one won't keep blocking ones from more urgent matters. Go! The audience will be held at the Lotus Stand, where the Elder Seedseer awaits even now. Let us be on our way. A proper gentleman. There he goes. There you go. Don't mind this one. Walking one should head back to Gridania with the others. If this one has any questions about the report, this one will be sure to send word. Right on. Ladies and gentlemen. Sprouts! Hell is a lot of people that gather there. Welcome, Warrior of Light. The Elder Seedseer and your friends are waiting within. Well, here we go. After all this time away, it will be good to see my father. Even if it is at an official meeting. Yep. 99 may seem like a lot of members, but before the Forum was founded, every person of age in Sharlayan was given equal say in its governance. Many of the institutions that are still active today were established by the people's vote, not least the Studium. As Alize and I were constantly reminded during our time there, it is an example of what can be achieved through absolute democracy. Rereading what he said. Okay. Yeah, go figure, right? But these days you say anything like that, people just say you're just some filthy socialist communist or whatever. Rich people ought to be in charge, they know what's best. Fuck everyone else. During my time in Sharlayan, I heard much of Fortunal Leveilleur. He is a gifted speaker, known amongst other things for the uncompromising application of foreign policy. Really? That foreign policy being non-intervention. This ought to go well. My friends, I thank you all for coming so swiftly. Word of Master Fortunal's visit took us quite by surprise. When the Alliance granted Mistress Krile permission to request Sharlayan's aid, we did not anticipate so prompt a reply, much less that it would be delivered by a member of the Forum. What the nature of that reply may be, we shall soon discover. Okay. Well, here we go. Is this the guy? It'll be our first time seeing their father. Wonder if he resembles Louis Swan anyway.
Elder Seedseer, I thank you for granting me this audience.
Handsome guy so far. Not too terribly different in facial features as Estinian.
I am Fortuno Leveilleur, here in my capacity as representative of the Forum.
It is I who should thank you, Master Fortuno, for journeying so far and so swiftly. Would that our first meeting could have been under happier circumstances.
It has been too long, Father. You look well.
As do you both. Ameliance will be glad to hear that you are taking care of yourselves.
How is Mother?
She misses you terribly, of course, but is otherwise a picture of health. Circumstances apart, I'm grateful that our meeting has afforded me the chance to be reunited with my children at long last. And I believe I also owe you thanks for the hospitality you showed my father, Louisoix, during his sojourn in Eorzea.
All thanks we owe to him. In the days prior to the 7th Umbral Calamity, it was your father's tireless efforts which granted us a means to vanquish the Primals. Were it not for him, our strength would have been quite spent by the time the Empire arrived. That Gridania still stands is in large part his achievement. He was a great man.
I see the resemblance between them too.
He would doubtless have been moved to hear you say so. I must confess, however, that I opposed his decision to intervene. And my position remains unchanged.
To chart the course of history, not to change it. I am familiar with the Sharlayan stance.
It is more than that. It is our way of life. Who we are. But I came here not to deliver a lecture, but the Forum's answer to your request. Sharlayan will under no circumstances intervene in the conflict between Eorzea and the Garlean Empire.
May I ask for what reason the Forum has come to this decision? The final days spell the end not only for Eorzea, but the entire world.
The final days? Pray spare me your hyperbole. This conflict is no more than the latest in a series of petty squabbles between yourselves and Garlemald. One in which Sharlayan will take no part. If the final days were truly upon us, we would know.
You're saying Fandaniel's bluffing them.
Father, you must ask the Forum to reconsider. You may feel safe on your little island across the waves, but if you imagine the Telophoroi will leave you be, you are mistaken. They mean to kill us all, themselves included.
Alphino is right. We have seen what the enemy is capable of, the lengths to which they'll go. This is no time to turn a blind eye. If Eorzea falls, so too will Sharlayan. So if you truly love our homeland, you will join us. Now, before it's too late.
I thought you knew better than to raise your voice to your elders. It seems I was wrong. Wrong to ever let you leave, Sharlayan. I consoled myself that your time abroad would instill in you some hint of restraint, of discipline. But I see now that Eorzea has made fools of you both. Have you forgotten why it was that I so vehemently opposed your grandfather's departure? For all his wisdom, his only solution was to go to war. Death, devastation, ruin. Even those who claim victory are scarred for life. What prize could ever justify such sacrifice? It is the duty of the learned to avert such tragedy. By fanning the flames of war, you forsake all you once held dear.
I would, but this is Louis Suave's coach. He's just gonna be like, oh, so now you're just ripping off my dad? Great. I'm just gonna say my own words. Better to fight and fail than wait for the axe to fall. And I am feeling that a little bit more, too.
I see your friend shares your misguided ideals. But unlike him, you should know better. By espousing such barbaric notions, you subvert the teachings of Sharlayan and place all we have worked for in jeopardy. Alphinaud, Alisaie, as of this moment, you shall no longer bear the name of Leveilleur.
What? Father?
How you choose to live your lives is no longer my concern. If you wish to walk the path of ruin, I will not stand in your way.
Master Fourcheneau, while Sharlayan may have no intention of intervening in this conflict, we can still part as friends. Will you not stay and speak with us, that we might learn of Sharlayan's hopes for the morrow?
I have said what I came here to say. Any further discussion would be meaningless.
What a fucking asshole.
Father, wait!
Don't bother, Alisaie!
How can you stand there and watch him walk away? How can you let this happen?
God damn, dude. Literally disowning your kids over something like this. It was not so very long ago that we had a friend and neighbor in Sharlayan, and so I clung to the hope that she might yet lend us her strength. But when she forsook Dravania, it would seem she forsook us all. In order to avoid conflict with Garlemald, the Forum went so far as to order the abandonment of an entire city-state. The refusal to aid us now is, I am sorry to say, entirely consistent with the historic position. Yeah, that's why Idyllshire now just belongs to a bunch of goblins and people. Is it we who walk the path of ruin? Time will tell. Alisaie? You're definitely not okay right now. So that's what he came here to say? That we're all fools for having the temerity to defend ourselves against the Telophoroi? And as for the rest, like it or not, this was the Forum's decision. To watch from afar while Eorzea burns. Father was but the messenger. And as he handed down their judgment, I could think of nothing to say that could possibly sway him. I still can't. To have prolonged the discussion would have changed little, for it is not only Master Fourcheneau who must be persuaded, but the Forum as a whole. Their decision was made ere your father crossed the sea. Nor is it like to be changed. And so we shall face the Telophoroi without their aid. Forgive me, but if they had no intention of helping us, then why would they go to the trouble of sending an envoy in the first place? Why did they not simply keep their counsel as they are wont to do? Oh, mushy mushy. Leon, has Master Fortuno arrived yet? Oh, he arrived alright. Then it is as I feared. My efforts were in vain. I pleaded our case to as many Forum members as I could, but they flatly refused to discuss the matter. No, that's not exactly true. I should rather say that they ignored every word I said on the subject without exception. It was almost unnerving. Could it be that they are hiding something from us? That might go some way to explain Master Fortuno's performance. When he said that they would know if the final days were truly upon us, I dismissed it as pride. But what if they genuinely believe that they know how the world will end and simply disagree with us about the circumstances? You know what, that's actually a pretty good observation. He did seem a little too confident. I just thought he probably thought Van Daniel or whoever said that shit was just, you know, blowing smoke, or... that's not the right word. You know, just spewing shit out. Garbage. That I don't know. But something tells me they are not as unconcerned about the Telophoi as they claim. Really? If the threats weren't real, why else would they be so standoffish and secretive? They don't want the Telophoi learning too much. They don't know who to trust. I would very much like to delve deeper into this, but I'm afraid I've exhausted every avenue of inquiry. Nor have I fared any better with my other mission, researching Hydaelyn and the Ethereal Sea. I tried enlisting the help of experts in the field, but it appears the Forum has forbidden anyone from cooperating with us. They're going that far? Obstructed at every turn. So it would seem, but don't lose heart just yet. With all the knowledge and acquaintances we have between us, we can still find a way forward. To that end, I would like you all to join me here. When the time is right, of course. I am aware that matters in Eorzea stand on a knife edge, but with your permission, I can at least start making the necessary arrangements. I have always wanted to visit Sharlayan, actually. But I am tempted to say this too. Well, there are one or two things to take care of here first. Nah, I am kind of excited to see the place after we've heard about it so fucking much. Sure, I've always wanted to visit Sharlayan. Yeah! And so you shall. Albeit under less than happy circumstances. Yeah, unfortunately. It may take a while to secure entry for you all, but I'll let you know when everything is in order. Look after yourselves in the meantime, won't you? You too, Kra. Your speculations give me cause to hope. Yet if these seeds will bear fruit, I cannot say. While it is possible the Sharlayans hide some secret truth from us, there can be no certainty that its exposure will prompt in them a change of heart. And so, for the present, we must needs confront the plight in which we find ourselves. Right. The Forum has refused our request for aid, and it falls to us alone to contend with the Telophoi. Even with all of Eorzea standing united, there is no guarantee that we will prevail. What does Sharlayan intend to do if we fail? Dude, all of these are mouth-watering options. Except I don't know what this one is. Zephyr? An irresistibly soft and airy confectionery made from whipped twilight apple puree. Chicken fettuccine, of course, is delicious as hell. Flat, thick pasta smothered in a rich cream sauce with tender slices of chicken thigh. Oh my god. I haven't had that in ages as dinner. I need to get this. Oh, I could definitely do with that. Critical hit and skill speed. That might be the one I go with just for the stats alone, but the taste is also... Anyway. Golden pineapple juice. This has its uses as well. I'll see in the bedroom later on, but that's manga TOS, so I can't say anything else. Hearts and invigorating juice freshly squeezed from golden pineapples. Mm-hmm. And it is wont to affect your biology in strange but positive ways, or so I've heard. Lemon muffin. A sweet and zesty muffin made by mixing lemonette rind and juice into the dough. I mean, as a follow-up to my earlier comment, if, you know, the comments of my significant other back then are to be believed, pineapple lemon juice or golden pineapple juice is a very good way to go. But, in this case, we need food for our job class, so we'll go with chicken fettuccine. If she were still here, she would have told me, fuck you, I should have taken the golden pineapple juice, but, you know, everything has its time and place. With their knowledge, Charlene could have done so much for the cause. They could have helped us to uncover the secrets of the towers and save the tempered captives within, and yet... Gods! She is pissed. Throughout my childhood, I remember grandfather arguing with my father over Charlene's policy of non-intervention. And this time it was my turn to play the role. Yeah, Louis would be proud. Excuse me, but even if my grandfather could not win him over, what chance had I? Or sorry, if even my grandfather could not win him over, what chance had I? If words exist that may sway him, I know not what they are. The forum includes representatives from all of Charlene's central institutions. With them hindering Prial's investigation, she will struggle to make any headway on her own. Death unto dawn. Shh. Shush. What is that? Square Enix's way of saying, hey, don't spoil this shit for anyone? Kane Senna seems determined not to let the disappointment of Charlene's rejection distract her from the task at hand. While Charlene's stance is indeed disappointing, we cannot allow ourselves to be distracted from the challenge before us. There is much and more to be done. I shall begin by sharing the forum's response with my counterparts in the Alliance. Meanwhile, I would ask that the Scions... Grave tidings, Walking Ones! Grave tidings! Now what? God damn it. One emergency after another. 1 second. There. Calm yourself, my gentle friend. What has occurred? These ones who went to see Feathered Ones send terrible news. Destroying Ones have appeared in Zelphatol. Destroying Ones and Captured Ones, and even frightful godly ones. Feathered Ones didn't stand a chance and were sent flapping and squawking. Shit. When did this happen? Is it too late to help them? Too late, yes, much too late. But luckily, Destroying Ones were only passing through and continued on west. Feathered Ones who did not fight were left unharmed. West. That would be Kurthus. My lady, the Ishgardians report that the Telophoroi have emerged from the eastern highlands of Kurthus and are marching at speed. Though their purpose has yet to be determined, the Cartano Flats would seem their most likely destination. Lord Emmerich has already dispatched his forces and requests our immediate support. Right there. Tell him we shall have it. The time has come for the Grand Company of Eorzea to prove its worth. Well, mayhap it is a mercy that we do not have time to stew upon our misfortunes. Come, my friends, let us make haste to Cartano. Right. Wait! This one almost forgot! Destroying Ones were said to be led by Cackling Robed One. This one must see that all Walking Ones know. Farewell! Led by Cackling Robed One. Fandango? Sure. Daniel? Sounds like it. Who else? It was only a matter of time before that grinning maniac showed himself again. I shall have an airship ready to bear you to Cartano. Pray see to your preparations and report to the landing with all haste. I'm on it, Mamikane. At once, my lady. Let us away. Milady. Hey. Alfina knows what's up. He's a proper gentleman. That's why I always bow. When I have the chance, of course. Which I do right now. The airship will be ready to depart ere long. I bid you make for the landing as soon as you are able, and may the 12 keep you. Milady. I was her personal envoy a lifetime ago. I love how everything's sort of reconnecting back to the beginning of this game in The Realm Reborn. Talking about Louisoix and everything else that's happened so far. It's been a nice sort of recap and, you know, bringing everything back around full circle, like I said earlier. Milady. $4 here. Come on, this will only take a moment, alright? Shit. Okay. We're too close to the end, so I don't want to stop, but I do need to cut the video, because I know it's still going to go for another hour, at least. So, I'm going to do what I did that one time. I'll just put up, not the BRB screen, but to make it easier. I'll shut off my webcam for a few seconds, so my future self will be able to see where to cut the video, in case I forget the timestamp. And then we'll keep going from here. There's no point taking a break, because we don't have that much time left. Yeah, so I don't really need to take a break, but I do want to keep the videos 2 hours or less, so I'll be back in a sec. Let's see. Forgot this part. There we go.